Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is a kind of a continuation video to the one that I posted the other day on eyeshadow palettes I own that I've never used. This video is going to be eyeshadow palettes I've used, but only used once. A couple of these I've used twice because I was going to do a video on, eyeshadow palettes I've used once and then eyeshadow palettes I've only used twice, but I don't have that many, so I'm going to lump them all together. So a couple of these I've used maybe twice, but most of these are one-time uses. Like I said, I decided to lump them all together instead of doing separate videos because I was thinking about it after I did that other video and I was like, I have a bunch that I've used, but I've only used like one time or maybe two times. And how many of them are there? There's enough that I have a huge pile in front of me. So I am going to just get into it and try not to spend a ton of time again on each one. And we're just kind of go through. I'm going to start off with my Too Faced ones because I have them kind of over here. And we'll just do those first. Go lay down. My dogs are here being annoying again. The first one, this one may be a two-time one. This is the Too Faced Sugar Cookie palette that was available from Ulta. There it goes. Open it up. Go like this if I cannot destroy it. So you can see I have used this shade, but this is only twice. And that one's really soft because that looks like it's been used more than twice, but I guarantee you I have not used this more than twice in it. It smells like vanilla, but it's very like fake vanilla smell, but this is pretty. This is one, the companion to this was a little mini peach palette that was only sold at Sephora, and Emily Noel did a video where she used this to do like her whole face. And then I feel like this one could be one that you could do because you've got like contour shades and like a blush shade and a highlight shade. I feel like this could be one that you could do, like use this one as like an under eye setting powder. So I thought about doing that with it at one point, but I haven't gotten around to it. So this one is definitely a two-time, and I'm going to try and just set these on the floor. The next one would be, I'm going to show these together. There's the peanut butter and jelly. And I know I haven't used this one more than twice. And then there's the peanut butter and honey that I only used one time when I first got it. My husband really loves honey, so I ended up finding this one. We'll show him like this after it was discontinued because this one was like a limited edition thing. I've had people tell me that these don't smell. I did kind of feel like they smelled like Reese's Pieces. This one doesn't really smell like anything at all. I feel like this one kind of smells like there's a smell, but it's definitely not a peanut buttery smell. But this one, I didn't use an eyeshadow primer and it faded really bad. And like the lasting power on this one isn't good. I'm obsessed with Too Faced, so I won't like ever get rid of any of my Too Faced makeup. But I think that's why I haven't pulled for these because the lasting power on these wasn't great. So let me know if you've used either one of these, what your experiences were with them. Because yeah, like I said, I think that's why I haven't reached, especially for the honey one. Because the yellow that I put on my lid, and like I said, it was my fault. I didn't have a primer, I didn't have concealer, and it just, by the end of the day, there was like nothing on my eyes at all. And then the last one, and I feel so bad because my husband bought me this. This is the gingerbread palette, and I know I've only used it twice. And both times I got a lot of compliments, and I think I'm to the point where, and this does kind of, it smells kind of like Play-Doh right now, actually. It did kind of have a spicy smell like gingerbread, kind of, but now it just kind of smells like Play-Doh. But Bailey, shh. I have so many eyeshadow palettes that I think that's why I haven't reached for this. Because like I said, both times I used it, I got compliments on my eyeshadow. But I don't think I've used it more than twice. The next one is also one that my husband bought. And I'm almost positive I have only used this one time. This is the Lorac Beauty and the Beast palette. I will never get rid of this because my husband bought it for me. This is what it looks like. The shades are so pretty. Like that blue is stunning. They're a little powdery, but I guess that's normal for Lorac. This was my only like Lorac palette. So I'm not super familiar with the formula, but I love it. I have the blush and highlight palette out of this collection. I will never get rid of this. Like I said, my husband bought it. I love Beauty and the Beast. She's my favorite princess. It's one of my favorite Disney movies. So that even if I never use it ever again, that will never go away. The next one is one I got off of Nordstrom Rack, and this is the Full Spectrum Urban Decay. I got it on a discount. Nordstrom Rack, you can get things discounted. They sell clothes and shoes and makeup. This is what it looks like. I tried to use the purples in here, and it honestly, I didn't have a great experience. I'm going to have to play around with this, but it's very colorful. That's why I bought it. It's pretty. Like I said, it obviously was discounted for a reason, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful I can make it work. But again, I've only used this one time, and my first time wasn't great with it, so that's probably why I haven't reached for it, because I'm afraid of it now, but it's kind of silly for it to sit in there and not get used, so I'm going to have to suck it up and try it again. The next one is a BoxyCharm palette. We get palettes every month. Usually it looks like this. There's like blush and highlight shades, one matte, metallics. My dogs are just going to bark. Would you two leave each other alone, please? Use this one time. I didn't have a bad experience with it. I just got another palette and it kind of fell to the wayside. It's still in my collection. Like I said, it's not a bad palette. It's not amazing, but it's not a bad palette. But there's a lot of palettes in here that are amazing that obviously I've only used once or twice. So that quality doesn't necessarily make it mean that it's not going to end up in this category for me. The next one, and I have two. These are the only two Lunatic Cosmetic Labs palettes. I have the Elvira. I think this is the Supernatural palette. I love the Elvira. It's got the little like pop-ups. There's a blush and 5 eyeshadows. I've used this one twice. And then the Supernatural palette. I love these because they look like coffins. Like this, it's very neutral. This one may be a 3-time use, but I know I have not used it more than 3 times. It's just very, they're neutral, mauve colors. Like you're not going to get anything crazy with this. I think that's why I haven't been reaching for it recently. And then this one, the color scheme is kind of all over the place. Hopefully you can hear me over the dogs. They're not going to stop, so I'm just going to keep going. The blue kind of throws me off. I don't really know what to do with the blue. I mean, the blush and then the red and this one kind of work well, and then the black and the white. I don't know. I feel like it's a little disconnected. It's pretty and it's cool, and I love both of these, and I will probably never get rid of them. The quality is really good. They have really good eyeshadows. I want the Zombie palette. It looks, I mean, it's the same 5-pan like this, but they're like all bright colors. I want that one. And there's an orange one that I wouldn't mind having too, but these are like $35 palettes. I tend to try and get these when they have sales. Like I got both of these discounted. No, I think I paid full price for this. I got this one when it was like 20 bucks when it was on sale. But the quality is really good. Lunatic Cosmetics Labs makes really good eyeshadows. I've never tried any of their other stuff, but their eyeshadows are good. Hey! Stop! The next one would be Juvia's Place, the Nubian 2. I have only used this 2 times, which this pan looks really dug into, but I swear to you, I have not used this more than twice. I bought this. It's very neutrally. I love the green and the blue. Like those 2 colors really spoke to me. So that's why I bought this. The Masquerade palette is one of my absolute all-time favorite palettes. So when this one was on sale, I picked this one up, and there's like 3 other palettes from them that I wouldn't mind having, but only used that one twice. The next one is Meet Matchmaker from The Balm. I got this in a Tribe box. This is what it looks like. I've only used it twice. I think in both times I ended up pulling from these greens. The quality is really, really good. This is the only like balm eyeshadow that I had really used before this, and I got another 3-pan little mini palette, but really good quality. They make good quality eyeshadows. Their palettes are a little bit expensive, but they're worth picking up. The quality is really good. The next one is by Laura Lee, and I used this. This one again might be a 2-time one because I used this on my lid once and then I used this one on my lid, but I've only used this twice. I got this when she was having a sale. I think it was a Black Friday sale. So I got this for like 27 bucks. It's good. I like it. It's a very pretty neutral palette. But I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, so stuff tends to, I use it when I first get it and then it goes in the drawer. There's a bunch from ColourPop, so we're going to go through. There's the Just My Luck. I used it when I first got it, and then I used it for St. Patrick's Day. Very pretty, all green palette. This one and this one, like the ones in these plastic packaging are probably my favorite of their palettes. Their palettes tend to disappoint me. Then this one's the pink one. Like this one, again, looks super dug in, but I've only used this palette once. I used this shade when I was using the green palette, but I promise you, like I've only used this palette one time. And this one I think is just really soft because it looks super dug in, but yeah, I've only used this palette once. The formula in these, to me, is different than the formula in these. So pick these up over these type. I don't know why. Which is why there's so many in this next category. I have the Dream Street palette, which I used twice when I first got it. This was a Kathleen Lights collab. There's the Zodiac palette, which is also a Kathleen Lights collab. Yeah, I've used this twice. The My Little Pony I used twice. I don't like, especially the dark shades in this palette, like that blue. Temperamental. The blues in all of these are temperamental. You have to put a colored base down or they're not going to work. The next one I have in the box because I was going to film a video. This is the Villains palette. Only used this once, and it is just okay. I don't know why I keep buying these palettes. I'm just disappointed. Like, it's not horrible, but it's definitely not the best. Like I said, I love that pink one and that green one so much more than the ones in these cardboard, and I don't know why. I feel like I'm going to do a rose. Is that all my ColourPop? So yeah, all of these, like these ones, the dark colors in these cardboard are so temperamental. Like I have trouble blending them. They don't want to stay on your eyes. Like even in the Dream Street palette, you have to put like those eyeshadow crayons. I have a blue and a green one, and I have them specifically for when I use colors in these, because even this one in here, if you don't put a colored base on, you're not going to have any eyeshadow on your eye at the end of the day. So that's why there's so many, because I get them and I think, oh, this is going to be the one. And then I have trouble and problems with it. And then I never use it again because I'm afraid to touch them because they're so finicky. The price point on those is good, but I'm to the point now with some of those where they're not even worth the $18 for me. I don't know. The next one is an Alamar Cosmetics, and this is a good eyeshadow palette. This is another BoxyCharm, but it's one of those, we get so many palettes that when the next palette comes along or the next palette I order comes along, they just get forgotten about. This one honestly could be a 3-time one, but this is probably one of my only ones, so I included it because I haven't used it a lot. This one I used twice. I only used it once, and I was actually going to declutter it. This is the Zoeva Prodigy palette. I got this in a BoxyLuxe, and so I used it again. It's not a bad palette. It's just not very versatile. Like there's this matte shade, these 4 are mattes, these are shimmers, and then you have highlights. Like you can't do a lot with it. There's just not enough colors. It's not a bad formula, but I just feel like I can't do a lot with it. The next one is ABH. It's the Riviera palette, and this is just because it's new. I have used it twice. I really like it. It's really pretty, but as you can see, I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes. So I used it when I first got it. I'm shedding. And then the next thing came along and it went into the drawer. I have two others by Laura Lee. I have the Party Animal palette, which I got in a BoxyCharm. The colors are like not reading true. There we go. And I haven't even used this whole palette. I've used this one, and then like these orange and yellows. And I honestly, like I used these with like a candy corn look that I did in Halloween, but I used it in conjunction with the Alamar palette. So I really even haven't used this whole palette, but there's the Party Animal palette. This one, some of the colors are finicky, but I did like that, like the yellow in this one kind of toned down the yellow in the Alamar Cosmetics palette for the candy corn, because this is like an orange yellow, and the yellow, this one right here, and the yellow in this is like a highlighter yellow, so they kind of combined, made a like true yellow when I was doing candy corn. And then the same thing with the orange, so I used it to kind of cancel out the warmth in that other palette. And then this is the Sleigh Bell palette. This is her Christmas time palette. I love this. I've used it twice, created some really beautiful looks with it, like the 2 times I used it. But I do like this. It's pigmented. It's pigmented. So if you get your hands on this, be very, go in with a light hand with these, because they're not messing around with the pigmentation in these. It's small. I do plan on using it more. I like this one a lot. I just that I have so many palettes. And I don't want anybody to think that I'm bragging. I just thought that these would be fun videos and I can kind of go through my collection, kind of see. The next two are going to be Jeffree Star. This is the Blood Sugar palette. I have used this 2 times since I got it. This is new. I got this recently. I've only used it twice. Because I was doing a pink look, and I don't know, for some reason, like when I ordered this in my head, there was more pinks. There's really only one pink in here, which is this one, and then there's like, this is a purpley shade. It's mostly red. I mean, it's a red package, so I don't know why in my head I thought there was more pink. I mean, I guess this isn't pink, but it's a light pink. But this is a really good palette. I'd never really used any of his products before, and then I kind of been on a Jeffree Star kick and been getting a lot through Poshmark. I ordered this off of his website when it restocked in March. And then his Alien palette I've only used twice, and I got this off of Poshmark, and a very nice lady like didn't price gouge it. Like it was maybe $10 or $12 more than I would have paid if I had bought it off of his website. So nothing crazy. And this to me looked super boring. Like that to me looks super neutral and boring. Stop it. But I don't know, in person, like it's not as boring as it looks on camera. Like the camera, even photographing it, because when I saw pictures of this on Instagram, I was like, that is one of the boringest palettes I've ever seen in my life. I don't know, in person, it looks so much better. Like I said, I've used it twice. I love it. I think I like this one over the Blood Sugar palette, and that surprised me a lot because I thought for sure like I was going to get this and use it one time, and I love this one so much more than this. I think it's just the colors in it. And I think once we get more into fall and winter, I'm going to want the reds more. Yeah. But I do love both of those. The formula is really good, so I do recommend his formula now that I've finally tried it. But I did get both of those in the last like month or month and a half. The next one is by Kat Von D. This is the only eyeshadow palette of hers that I own. This is the Saint and Sinner palette. There's the inside if you've never seen it. I think I've only used this twice because I don't know what to do with it. Like the color, we'll hold it like this. Like the colors are all over the place, and there are mattes and shimmers, and I don't know. It's a different formula. Like her formula is definitely unique. Sorry, my voice is cracking. It's starting to get late, but I just, when I look at it, I'm like, I don't know what to do. There's so many different colors and things that I probably could do with it. I just need to play around with it more. I do like it. It's pretty, but every time I open it, I'm like, I don't know what to do with you. And I put it back in my drawer. I'm like, I'm not going to mess around with it, and I'll show it one more time because, yeah, like I said, the colors are pretty, but they're all over the place, and I just, like, I need to watch some tutorials on stuff people have done to kind of get some inspiration for this, because I do want to use this more because I do like it. I don't dislike it. It definitely is a different formula than some of my other eyeshadows. Like I said, she definitely has her own formula. But the last one is by Tarte, and this is the Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust palette. It looks like this. It's pretty. I ordered this when I ordered the Sizzle palette that I showed in my other video. I've used this one twice. It's very mauve-y, very pink. I like pinks and mauves. Yeah, it's just pretty. I just, again, have so many others. And then a new one that my lovely friend Lauren gave me today. I thought I would give a shout out. I just got this, so I have not used it. This is the Naked Ultimate Basics palette. So I'm going to play around with this. Neutrals. But those are all of my palettes that I have only used once. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know which ones you think I should use more. Like I said, they're all good. I don't dislike any of these. I just haven't used them. I need to probably go through and do palette bingo, and then every time I do my makeup, pick a different palette, like start at the top and go through, through the drawers, and just that way I can use them all. But yeah, those are all of my palettes that I've only used a couple of times. Hopefully, this video wasn't too boring. Kind of showcases some other makeup that I have. Palettes that makes me think about palettes that I definitely need to use more because I do like them. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new to my channel, please take a moment, hit that subscribe button. It always means so much to me when I get new subscribers. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening or morning whenever you're watching this video. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.